Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So my name is Lala and you're welcome to this series. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll be giving us fashion business tips on tips on how to run your business as a fashion entrepreneur. So to kick off this series, I'll be discussing with us factors you need to consider before you give a customer or a client a price for a dress you're going to be making for them. Okay, so if you've been following me on Instagram, I said I'm going to share a price templates. I also said I'm going to explain to us how you can determine the price of an attire or an outfit. Okay, so before we go into that, which I'll be doing in my next video, I want to tell us the factors, the things that you're going to consider before you start to calculate your price, right? Okay, so I don't want to waste so much time on this particular video. So the first thing you're going to be considering is the cost of materials that you want to use in making that particular outfit. Okay, so that's why I tell people, don't be in a hurry to give your customer a price. Take your time. Even though if you've been sewing for quite a period of time, you might find it quicker and faster for you to determine the price than for someone that is just starting. So when you want to give the cost of material, okay, you don't give the cost of material like you don't calculate based on the price you buy in the market. No. For instance, if probably a zipper costs 100 naira from the market, okay, but you know that if you're going to get that zipper from probably a shop around you here, it's going to cost you like 200 naira. So when you want to calculate your cost of material, you don't calculate based on the cost price or the price you're buying from the market. You calculate you calculate it like you're buying like a retailer, like you're buying from a normal shop around where your store is or something. So that's for cost of material. So you need to settle down all the materials are going to be used to produce the outfit. You need to calculate properly how much it's going to cost you. Okay. Now in my next video, when we're doing the proper calculation, okay, I'll show us how you can actually make calculations for cost of materials and how you can make extra money just in case something comes up. Probably you're making a dress, it's zipper gospels and you need to buy another one. You're incurring loss, but somehow if you do your calculations properly, you'll be able to make up for that loss. Then secondly, we're going to be considering cost of labor. So now for that cost of labor, there's no fixed price. There's no fixed price for that. You can decide to pay yourself 100,000 naira per month. You can decide to pay yourself 30,000 naira. You can decide to be paying yourself 500k per month. It depends. So for that cost of labor, it depends. But like I said, in my next video, I'm going to be more practical. Like I'm going to pick a style, and I'm going to use more practical figures to like determine the price of an outfit. Okay, but that will be my next video. I don't want this video to be too lengthy. So like I said, cost of labor is the same thing as cost of salary, and that is going to be dependent on so many factors or some other sort of factors. It is going to be determining whether maybe your workplace is not far from home. If where you're staying, when you're living is far from your workplace, you need to factor in your transportation fare into your salary. You're going to factor in your feeding allowance into your salary. Okay, we're going to discuss all of that in the next video. So cost of material, cost of labor slash salary. And I said transportation and feeding are going to be part of your cost of labor and your cost of your salary. Okay. Now the next sorry, I like to write things down so that I don't make I don't seem like I'm unorganized. Okay. So the third point to consider is your cost of rent. So if you're renting a space or a studio or a shop or whatever, you need to factor that into how much you want to charge your clients. Now, for those people that don't have a shop, you are definitely sleeping under a roof. You are staying in a house, whether it's a room, whether it's a 2 bedroom, even if it's your father's house, you are occupying a space, okay, and that space costs money. So you will need to factor that into the price, which I will explain to us in the next video. Okay, even if you're working from home, maybe your house is a 3 bedroom flat and you're using just one room, you're still going to factor that into the price you're going to give the customer. So which means you need a template. You need a template that you're going to be using to calculate price for all your customers. And it means you cannot calculate the same price for everybody, right? Okay, so next thing is going to be cost of fuel or electricity. Wherever you are using, whether you are working at home or you're working in a rented studio or office or whatever, sewing room, whatever, okay, you're going to be using power, which will be either electricity or fuel, okay. So I will also explain to us how you're going to calculate the cost of power you're incurring on a particular outfit. I will explain that in the next video. So because at least every month you are going to be receiving a bill for how much power you're using for your workplace or wherever you are using to sew. Okay, so I'll explain how we're going to calculate it down to probably per hour so that you know how much to charge for that particular outfit. Then if you're using fuel, of course, maybe you are residing in a place like Nigeria where power is not stable, okay, and you have to use fuel. You also need to consider that. Now the next thing is taxes. We have different types of tax. There is VAT, value added tax. Okay, then we have local government tax. That's like IRS, Inland Revenue Services, or probably, okay, let me use Nigeria. You know, Nigeria will have different states. So let me use Lagos states as an example. For like Lagos State, we have LIRS, which is Lagos Inland Revenue Services. There's an amount that they charge you every year. Okay, so you need to also factor that into your price. Okay, then you can also have other taxes. Any kind of tax you're paying, you need to factor it into your price. Then we also have what is called signage. Signage, okay? Signage is what people call like signboard or a signpost, or sometimes people use flex. Maybe Deborah Fashion House, and you put up a signboard. Okay, there's an agency that charges people for that. When you put up a signboard, you need to pay a particular amount, and I think they charge yearly. You also need to factor that into your price. All these small small things are things that people overlook. Okay, and then you find out that you've been sewing for like a year. You don't have savings. You can't account for how much you've made. You're just sewing, you're not doing business. So all of these are factors that you need to consider. Then the next thing is the cost of maintenance. So for cost of maintenance, that comes under your sewing machines, whatever tools you're using to work in your studio. Definitely they need maintenance, so you need to also factor that. You should know how much you spend on maintenance. I don't know if you do your maintenance probably monthly or every 2 months. You know how much you spend. You need to factor that into every single outfit that you make. Okay, so like I said, I'll be more practical in my next video. Like I want to be more practical, the how to calculate everything down to the bits. Okay, so next I have here is security. Yes, for some people probably where their sewing room is, or their tailoring shop, or wherever they are working, sometimes you need to pay for security levy, all of that. And security levy can be monthly, can be yearly. Whatever amount they are charging you, you need to factor it into the dress you're making. All those bills are, because all these things I'm mentioning, you ought to be paying all these bills from whatever it is you're making from your sewing business. You understand? If you are not, then you're running at a loss. Okay. Then you also have other costs of production. For example, you can have a branded nylon bag that you give to your clients after you finish making their clothes. You put it in a nylon bag, packaging. All those things cost money. For some people, they have tags that they attach to their dresses they make for clients. Whatever it is that you're giving your clients, can be tags, can be bags, can be freebies. All these things cost money. So you need to factor all of these into every single outfit that you make. And yeah, so that's all for now. So far, I've mentioned 9 factors you need to consider before you name your price for an attire. Now, if you notice everything I've mentioned so far, I didn't mention whether you're living in a low class area or a high class area. I didn't mention that. No, it's a factor, but it's not really a very important factor, because you should have like a standard, whether you are living in a low cost area or a middle class area or a high class area. You understand? So, like I said, if I'm to discuss everything in one single video, the video will be too lengthy. So in my next video, I will explain more practically, like with figures. Maybe you want to make a corset dress, okay? You are renting, you're paying for paying so amount of money for your studio. You pay this. We're going to be more. I'll be more practical with figures, okay? And then by then, probably in the next video or the upcoming ones, I will also be sharing a template that you can use. So that template, you just it's going to be in a document, just like 1 or 2 pages. So you could just print it out, have so many copies. So each time a customer walks in, you use that template to calculate how much they're going to be paying. We also have what is called markup. There's so many things you need to consider. Now, all these things might seem like they are very important, okay? Because some people borrow money to pay their rents. At the end of the year, they don't have anything tangible, because the only thing that comes to people's mind when they want to charge for an attire is just cost of material and how much they want to charge the person, the labor. That's all. And there's so many other important, factors you also need to consider before you name a price. So I'll be stopping here for now till my next video, where I'll be more explicit on how to calculate the price of an attire. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If this is your first time, okay, kindly like this video, subscribe. Feel free to leave your questions, okay? And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. I remain Lala.